Howdy folks, welcome back to another edition of the Positioning Scenarios series. In this video we are going to have a look at our face-off scenarios, as there are a few situations where we are getting double commits. For context, our team uses a priority system instead of the left is law method used with random players. So we're going to start off talking about 5 easy kickoff scenarios that we never really see any issues with. Then we're going to jump into our 5 problem face-offs where we're getting the double commits. And then I'm going to close it out by instituting a new fake kickoff for threes games. So let's jump right in here with the easy kickoffs. Alrighty, so this is the first one here. So in this scenario, Vic and Sleazy are up front and Bogo's back in the center. So in this scenario, Vic's going to wind up going to the ball, and he's the maroon arrows, or red arrows as you see here. And Bogo's going to come up as the trailer here, down the center here, and then Sleazy's going to rotate back for this 100 boost. Now, depending on what happens here with the ball, Vic's likely to wind up on this side, so I put him out to this boost, or if the play goes back onto the defensive side, he's simply just going to rotate back. Now, the thing about the guy going for the kickoff, in all scenarios, this guy is last man back after he does the kickoff. So he's not going to go after the ball, regardless of what happens here. So it's either going to be Bogo's ball or it's going to be Sleazy's ball. And Sleazy's going to have all of the area behind the green box. So he's got all the defensive side on this side of the field, and he's got offensive side on this side of the field. So anything basically outside of these little mini pads is the Sleazy area here. So he's got this whole, I guess, right side or left side on the screen as we're looking here. So Bogo, as he comes up, if the ball gets tied up in the center, that's his, or if it's just right around this face-off circle in between the mini pads, it's his. If it's going to roll out onto the Sleazy side, he's going to leave it there and then come down into the center area for a pass across. But he's got this whole area, so if the ball goes to the offensive side on this side of the field over here on the right, then Bogo's going to go after that over there. All right, next face-off. So in this case, Sleazy's going after the ball, so he's going to go for the face-off, and then he'll go for the boost over here, and then float back. And something to note here is if you grab this side boost over here and the ball's got a chance to be played out, just like we saw with the double stuff video, when you rotate back and you're going to the back post from that spot, you can actually float around in this area for a second and see if a pass comes your way, because you're going to wind up having 2 guys back in that case, so you can somewhat take your time, take a second or 2 to see if a pass comes, and then make your way back to the back post. In this case, Vic Jackson is the trailer, so he's going to come down the center, and then same thing here. In this case, Bogo's got the back piece, and usually when I'm back, I like to grab these 2 mini pads. If the ball winds up over here, I'll grab this 100 boost and make my way up. If the ball comes back on defense, I'll be here on the defensive side, and I've got this side of the defense in this case. So in this case, Bogo's going to have the offensive side over here, and Vic Jackson's got everything from these mini pads over to the left-hand side in this case. So if the ball goes on the offensive side, it's going to be Vic's ball over there. Right, and then Sleazy's going to be last man back regardless. All right, next face-off here, another easy one. So in this case, Bogo's going after the ball, and then simply he's, same thing, rotating back, last man. So go after the ball, last man. In this case, Vic is coming up. Vic's our all-time trailer if he's available. So in this case, he's going up here to the center, and Sleazy's got this side of the offensive pitch and this side of the defensive pitch after he gets his 100 boost, or grabs the mini pads and then gets the 100. So either way there. So nice, easy. Vic can see where Sleazy is, which is where some of the confusion comes in later on. All right, in this face-off scenario, this is just like the previous one that we saw. So in this case, Bogo's coming up through the center, Vic's doing the face-off, and then Jay Sleazy's got the boost on the left-hand side. So the nice thing here is Bogo can see where Sleazy's at, so he's not so he knows which way he's going, so he knows which way Sleazy's offensive side is going to be on, which is the main key here. All right, and then finally here on the easy kickoffs. So in this case, we've got Sleazy in one of these two positions, and then Vic's here. This could be Vic or Bogo. So whoever's this guy is going to go after the ball, either Vic or Bogo. So they're going up center towards the face-off, and the guy behind them is going to trail the play there, and then Sleazy's out for the boost. All right, so in this case, Bogo's the trailer, Vic's the face-off guy, and I usually like to go over to the side and grab this boost and this mini pad on my way back, and that just gives me it puts me on the opposite side of the field as Sleazy, just in case the ball comes screaming back in, and it also puts a little distance in between Vic and I, so that I'm not right on his tail as the ball's coming up here, because if you're right on his tail, you're going to get burned by the ball going over your head really easily. All right, now for the problem face-offs. All right, first one here. So where the main problem comes in here is when Sleazy winds up back behind everybody where we can't see or we don't know which direction he's going to go. So in this case, Vic is on the right-hand side of the field. So he's going to go after the ball and then either get the boost or come back. Bogo's the trailer man again, doing the trailer position, so basically through the ball or rotate back. And Sleazy in this case, he could, in theory, go either way. So what I think is happening is he's always going the same way, and that could change the play depending on what side Vic is on here, right? So in this case, what I think we should institute a rule on is Sleazy should go to the opposite side of the side that Vic is on. So if Vic is over here, Sleazy's going to go the direction with the arrows that you see. If Vic is on the other side, he's going to go for the other boost, regardless of where this front guy is, who's going to be the trailer. So if we always do that, then we always know that Sleazy's going to be opposite side of the side that Vic wound up on, right? So that's problem face-off number one. All right, the second one, same thing here. This is where Sleazy's in the back in the small configuration where everybody's back in the back position. So in this case, I say we do the exact same thing. We're going to go to the opposite side of the side that Vic's on. So if Vic's on this side as he comes up, Sleazy's going to go for this boost. If Vic were on this side, then Sleazy would come out here for this boost. That way we know which direction Sleazy's going. He's always going the opposite side of the side that Vic's on, right? All right, another face-off here. So in this case, Bogo and Vic are in the back. So same thing here. Vic comes up for the face-off. In this case, Bogo usually floats back here to the center as a trailer man, and Sleazy goes out for the boost. So in this case, Sleazy, again, opposite side of Vic. So whichever side Vic's on, you're going the opposite way, and then we'll always know which direction you're going here. So that's if you're in this center position. Now these next two have you at the other two positions, so let's have a look at those. So in this case, you're on this side, and this is the exception to the rule. If you spawn on this side, you're going to be closer to this boost over here, and this face-off configuration is going to be on me. So I'm just going to have to check back and see exactly where you are. For Vic's purposes, it doesn't matter. So you're simply going to float out to this boost if you're on this side of the pitch, right? Because you're closer to it. And then I'm going to check where you're at, and then float to the center here, and then I know which side that you're on. So I can easily do that right before the kickoff, right? And then same thing on this side. In this case, you're over here on this boost because you're closer to this side of the field. So nice and easy there, right? All right, so if we do all that, if you're always opposite side of Vic, unless you're here, or sorry, in this one position, and then you're over here, then we'll always know where you're at. We don't have to call it out from the back. And then if you make a mistake on it, just call it out from the back and we'll just adjust as needed. All right, now for the fake kickoff. All right, so this is the same thing that we do in twos, where Sleazy goes up is in the going for the kickoff position, and then you got Bogo and Vic in the back. So in this scenario, Bogo's going to be the initiator of this fake kickoff, so he'll call it out for Sleazy to leave the ball. And when that happens, Sleazy's going to go back for this 100 boost, and then he's going to come out on offense, just like we do in twos. Bogo's going to float back here, and then try and get when they knock the ball down, we're going to basically go for the pass up here for the redirect for Sleazy. So we do this all the time in twos. You know exactly what the play is here. So the only difference here is what Vic does. And the nice thing here is the only time we ever get burned on this kickoff is when somebody recognizes what you've done, going back for the 100 boost, and then now they're dribbling for the ball, and you were out here getting boost, so you have to close the gap real quick. So the nice thing is Vic can actually float out here, kind of to the side here, on the opposite side of what Sleazy is. So we need you on the opposite side here to cover more ground. So if this guy recognizes and goes for the dribble against Bogo in the net, Vic's going to go after that ball. So he's going to basically be the pressure man on that and be able to close that threat gap so that we don't have a guy charging back with the ball in his car right at the net. Otherwise, if something breaks down and they knock the ball usually right here in this area, then Vic's going to float over here to back post as Bogo collects the ball around. If the ball transitions to the offensive side of the field, then Vic can either go out for this 100 boost or he can go over here. And this is probably the better play, honestly, to go ahead and grab a couple mini pads, come down here in case Sleazy misses. You can get a shot on the net as well and do some cleanup. All right, so that's the fake kickoff. So the only difference between what we're doing in twos is Bogo's calling it out instead of Sleazy, and then Vic's going to float over here to the side piece, or to this little side area. All right, and that's it.